that this same human being who was called the best becomes the worst. What dhulm is all about? Dhulm is called if you keep the things in inappropriate places. That's called dhulm. That's injustice. For example, we have these shelves. We keep Quran in it. We keep books. And we have out there the shoe racks. If we keep shoe racks, if we keep our shoes in the shoe racks, and the Quran and the books in these shelves, this is called justice. But what about if someone does opposite? Instead of keeping Quran or the books here, if I bring the shoes and keep next to the Quran or next to the books, or the pick up Quran or the books keeping there, now you are keeping things in appropriate places. This is called dhulm. This is injustice. And the worst injustice is inna shirka la dhulmun azim. Polytheism is grave sin, the highest form of sin because it is replacing monotheism. So that's called inna shirka la dhulmun azim. Associating partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a grave sin. Is the highest form of dhulm. La dhulmun azim. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran many places, إِنَّهُ لَا يُفْلِحُ الظَّالِمُونَ. Those who do dhulm, they will never ever, la yuflihu, they will never ever be successful. They will never be happy. Maybe for temporary, for short period of time, they could pretend that they are okay, they are successful. But إِنَّهُ لَا يُفْلِحُ الظَّالِمُونَ. The zalimun will never be successful. Will never have any some sort of happiness that they can enjoy their happiness. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاللَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الظَّالِمِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not love those who do dhulm. إِنَّهُ وَاللَّهُ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not guide those who do dhulm. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ اللَّهَ غَافِلًا مَا يَعْمَلُ الظَّالِمُونَ. Never ever think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is unaware of those who do dhulm. Allah knows it. Who does dhulm? Inna zalimina. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says that for the zalimun, inna zalimina lahum adabun alim. Inna zalimina lahum adabun alim. The verily, those who do dhulm, for them is a painful torment. If apparently we don't see any kind of torment or any kind of punishment in this world, but yes, there will be painful torment, a painful punishment in the life of hereafter. وَلَقَدْ أَهْلَكْنَا الْقُرُونَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَمَّا ظَلَمُوا. And also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destroyed the nations, the previous nations, not because of any other reason, but it's because of they were doing dhulm. They were destroyed. So now, when we see the dhulm is exercised, and this dhulm sometimes, we do dhulm within ourselves. وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ إِذْ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ جَاءُوكَ فَاسْتَغْفِرُوا اللَّهَ وَاسْتَغْفَرَ لَهُمُ الرَّسُولُ لَوَجَدُوا اللَّهَ تَوَّابًا رَحِيمًا. That we do dhulm within ourselves. Like when we violate the laws or the commands that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked to do to follow, and we do not follow the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam's teaching, this also is called dhulm. وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ إِذْ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ. And when they do dhulm on their own selves, they should come to you, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and seek Allah's forgiveness. And the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam will seek forgiveness for you. And you will find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala most forgiving, most merciful. And sometimes this dhulm is practiced or exercised against your own family. As we see that sometimes the parents, they do dhulm on their children when they do not guide them towards the right path. They let them do whatever they want. There are no certain restrictions. They should be on the right path. It's also called dhulm. Because the parents will be answerable because they were responsible regarding their children and their family. Observe yourself and family members and your children from the fire of Jahannam. If we do not care about that, this also is full. But when the children, they grow up, and when they behave, they have terrible behavior related to their parents, and when they do not take care of them, loving them, taking care of them, they become rebellion. They become so bashful. And there are many examples of when the children grow up, they kick their parents out of their homes. Say, who cares? This is also called zulm. The children are doing zulm to their parents. When they have a zulm, this is called being husband. When we mistreat them, when we ill-treat them, and when the husband is upper hand and he does zulm, and he takes away the rights, does not fulfill the rights of his wife, and when she has like a chance and she becomes so rebellion, she does not care about anything. So what happens is against for zulm. Zulm against to their own relatives when they are less fortunate and they need help in a social, moral life, they need help. And when they feel it, that that a kindness, they don't feel a kindness, and they become also that that he creates their hearts, and a mercy is created because they don't feel any kindness. What about inciting? Those are upper hand, those who have in authority. When deprive the people from their rights, when the people are deprived from their rights and the basic needs and the basic necessities, this is called zulm in the society, individual or collectively. Whether someone is in authority, when they misuse their power, they misuse their intellect, they misuse their strength, and they are depriving people from their rights. This is called the highest form of zulm. As right now, the thing that we are always, we think about, the people are oppressed, their rights are taken away, their basic necessities are completely restricted. This is zulm. And we know that around the world, the Muslims, they are oppressed. Right now, the Muslims are oppressed. And right now, the people of Kashmir, we all know that. We are raising our voices, but our voices have no strength. We just satisfy ourselves. But we think exactly, do we have any power in our voices? Exactly, we will say that no. But yes, we have to satisfy ourselves. This highest form of zulm is practiced, but we have no power, we have no strength. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows, but we have been asked to play our role. And the hadith, always you hear this hadith, most of us, we always repeat this hadith. The Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when you see any munkar, start it with your hands. فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ. If you cannot do so, then with your tongue, speak out. Write about it. Speak. Say something. Everyone's capacity is different. Everyone's circle is different. So whatever circle that we are in, or the capacity that we have, based on our capacity and potential and our circles, we are responsible to speak out against oppression and against injustice. If we are not doing that, so he'll say something like the third one is called, if you cannot do so, فَبِقَلْبِ, we feel bad. وَهَذَا أَطْوَ الْإِيمَانِ, that is the lowest form of iman. And right now that we are saying this, as we sometimes talk about Muslim Ummah. Unfortunately, the concept of Muslim Ummah is no more. We don't see the concept of Muslim anymore. Right? It's not existing. We say, but unfortunately, we do not have any concept of Muslim Ummah. What Muslim Ummah is all about? Muslim Ummah was when, as Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muslim Ummah, this Muslim are like one body. One portion of the body suffers, the entire body suffers. But what happens? One portion of the body suffers, and other portion is enjoying, is rejoicing. If we have concept of Muslim Ummah, those are oppressors. Those are cruel. They are oppressing one group of people and other group of same people. They are appreciating. If we don't have Ummah then, we do not have any Qadr Muslim Ummah anymore. That's the reason that we are suffering today. My brothers and sisters in Islam, that we know that. These are all our weaknesses. But what is a solution? We must have some solution. So that solution is if we do not come back to conduct, our Ummah will still suffer. And to wait for the next challenges that we're going to face. And this very important thing is that Allah Ta'ala created human beings for these feelings. If we do not have that feelings for one another, and if we do not feel the sufferings of others, that's the point. That there's a question mark. Now what will happen to us? وَتِلْكَ الْأَيَّامُ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ. These days are rotating. These are turning. Tomorrow someone else is going to suffer, and this turn will take place. My brothers and sisters in Islam, that we have to come back together. We have negligible matters that we are doing. For small things, the smallest matter, we be strangers to each other. We hate each other. Unless we do not get rid of these evils and get rid of these sicknesses, we will have more challenges. And another very important thing is that although we demonstrate, we protest, these protests and demonstrations is only we are fulfilling the second portion of this hadith, the speak out, that we are satisfying ourselves. But there is another step which is higher than this. Along with this, along with protesting, along with speaking out, we have to rectify